GM. February 3rd, 2025. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin and the crypto market has in store for us today. It is a beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. Over the weekend, we had a couple nice down days. Last night started off with a big dump. Last night, this morning UTC, I guess, midnight, had a big dump right down in here. Bands are currently flipping bearish. The ribbon is bullish. We are still in a sideways range until we're not. Everybody online is acting like the market is taking all their money, probably because they're in alts instead of Bitcoin. So far right now, Bitcoin is down 2.5%. The rest of the alts are getting slammed. Lots of red. A couple green down in here. If you're too heavily invested in alts, when the market has a couple down days, alts get slammed. The daily market structure is bearish. But as I've been saying, after breaking this level right here, which we did, I fully expect a higher low to form. Yesterday, I did say that the 100 period moving average right there would be a good target, and it seems to be holding right now. It seems to be bouncing off that just nicely. Of course, we'll see how things go, but as of right now, the last line in the sand right here is this purple line that I've drawn. That is the low that was set before this last push to create our range. So if this is lost, I would expect a lot more downside to come. We have gaps below that haven't been filled. I do think these are breakaway gaps, as this came from Trump winning the presidency back in November. But we'll see. I'm not really looking towards that right now because we are still in this range, and I expect to be in this range until we're not. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart here. See some things I have drawn for lower time frames there. Big, massive volume on this candle that touched off the block, and so far we're reacting off of it. Interim market structure level on the 4-hour right there, 99.34. 4-hour bands are bearish. Market structure is bearish, and the ribbon has now flipped into neutral. That's to be expected, as we are still in this longer term sideways range. As of right now in the 4-hour, let's see if I can go like this. There. And there we are. As of right now, we are just beginning to bounce, see how high we get on this. It's not going to be... Here we go. We hit the bottom and it's straight back up to the top. V reversals very rarely happen. There's almost always retests. See, we came down here. We retested it before we went up. See what I mean? Big flash crash there, and we retest it. Spend some time before we start heading back up. That tends to happen. I don't expect a V reversal here, but this kind of volume is pretty nice. Got a big volume spikes in here. This is during the Trump inauguration, which really was, I guess, a sell the news event. but bottom here with big volume, not as high as today's, but still big. Coming in at the bottom here, comes back, retests it. So I do expect to chop around in here for a bunch before we head back up. And I do expect us to head back up because we're in this range until we're not. Kind of like the trend is your friend until the end. Same thing applies to consolidations. Now, if you look up at the daily here, we did have, here's our nice run here, followed by a consolidation. Same thing here. We had our run, followed by months of consolidation there. So this sideways action is to be expected. And I think it shall continue. So far, we've had a nice reaction off of the bottom. We'll see Ethereum. Ooh. Yeah, Ethereum lost that daily level. The daily market structure has now moved. There's our daily market structure level right there. We're going to take this. You know what? We're going to draw a new one. Right there. We're going to go daily. That's a new box. This is quite the wick on this candle, I'll be honest with you. It really did come down. Tag this box right here. I didn't foresee that happening, but I'll show you in a bit what happened to Bitcoin dominance during this drop. Alts got slammed, including Ethereum. But Ethereum is now losing its support that it had. So it's not nearly looking as good as Bitcoin at all. You know I'm not a big fan of ETH right now. ETH, BTC, tanking. Just as it keeps doing. Nothing new to see here. For the last years, it's been nothing but down versus Bitcoin. Although, if you notice, the structure is speeding up as it starts to speed up away. That's setting up for a good mean reversion trade as things speed up and get back to the normal of here. That could be a nice play back up into there. We'll see the way that Ethereum reacts off of this bounce though. In here, Ethereum can have a stronger bounce back up into this trend line. It may get stronger, but for now, we're not there yet. Solana's daily block there held. It did lose this center block. It was acting as support. Now it's going to become resistance again. The daily bands have flipped bearish. The ribbon is still bullish. The market structure is still bullish because of this big run. Interim, obviously, we're in a downtrend. Our interim level is right there. There you go, marked out. Look at that. This trend line continues to get respected. Tries to break below it, can't do it. It's a good spot for Solana. If it can hold this trend line here, would have set a higher low and held the 200-day moving average there. Yeah. Solana doesn't look bad here for bottom. Neither does Bitcoin. Solana versus Bitcoin. Look at that. It's actually up now. More of the same. We're in this sideways action here. Back and forth in the yellow box here. Make that a bit bigger. Show it off a little bit more. This is the daily chart of Solana versus Bitcoin. We've been sideways for a long time. Historically, over the last years, how long is that? Yeah, a year and a bit. So bottom to top. Doesn't always fill the whole range. I mean, this whole section here is just diddling in the middle. But here we go, back to bottom to top. Bottom. Gonna break down, or is this time to be in Solana again for the next, little bit? Could increase the Bitcoin stack right there. If you're willing to take that trade. I'm not really interested in it long term unless it breaks this downtrend line and top of the range there. Promised I'd look at this Bitcoin dominance. This is wild. At one point there on this breakdown, Bitcoin dominance was up almost 6% in a single day. Like, that's wild. Does so far today reclaim that level right there. Back, continuing its uptrend. If you look at the weekly of Bitcoin dominance here, the weekly bands on Bitcoin dominance hasn't bothered to flip at all bearish. This still is the Bitcoin bull run. I will plan to get more heavily in alts when that changes. That's when the real alt season can start. But alt season, you got to think about, this doesn't count. This is back when there was only Bitcoin, right? This is everything coming into the market. So if you look, the true alt season, how long did it last? 6 weeks? That's your alt season. How long is that alt season? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? It is alt season. Seasons don't last forever. This isn't the alt bull run. It's alt season. We do have here's some downward move here. It is 11 bars, 11 weeks. Think about when that is though, right down here. Couple months in 2022, right in the middle of 2022. Like, what was Bitcoin doing in the middle of 2022? Right in here. This was your alt season. It means alts were outperforming. Like, Bitcoin wasn't even running. Yeah. So, overall analysis. Sideways till we're not. No panic. Why no panic? Because it's sideways until we're not. We're not breaking down. We're just having a couple down days. Welcome to crypto. Like that meme, first time. GM.